The RMS Titanic, a name that echoes through history, a powerful symbol of human ambition and the fragility of life. It represented the peak of naval engineering, the height of opulence and the pride of the era. Built by the Harland and Wolff shipyards in Belfast, the ship was colossal, measuring almost 3 football fields long, just imagine. The Titanic had innovative safety features, including watertight compartments designed to keep the ship afloat even in case of damage. The interiors of the Titanic were equally impressive, adorned with luxurious furniture, exquisite restaurants, richly decorated ballrooms, and a grand staircase that took your breath away. It was more than just a ship. It was a microcosm of society, carrying the dreams and aspirations of thousands of people on its maiden voyage. A true gem of engineering ready to cross the Atlantic. On April 10, 1912, the RMS Titanic departed from Southampton, England, on its maiden voyage to New York. On board were over 2,200 people, a mix of some of the world's wealthiest individuals, like the Guggenheims and the Astor family, immigrants seeking a better life in America, artists, writers, and a crew eager to be a part of maritime history. As the ship left the port, under the gaze of thousands, few could have imagined the horrific events that would unfold in a matter of days. The atmosphere on board was one of joy and anticipation, a mix of excitement for new lives and euphoria with the grandeur of the ship. However, fate, like a treacherous sailor, had other plans. As the Titanic sailed through the North Atlantic, the band played cheerfully, and the passengers reveled in the luxury and festivities on board. However, ominous radio messages began to crackle from nearby ships, like whispers from the sea, warning of dangerous ice fields ahead, like ice ghosts lurking in the water. The unwavering belief in the unsinkable nature of the Titanic, a giant of steel, created a sense of complacency, and the ship's speed was maintained, ignoring nature's warnings. The night of April 14th arrived, enveloping the ship in a cold and unforgiving darkness, like a black cloak over the sea. Despite previous warnings about ice, the Titanic maintained its speed, sailing towards danger like a raging bull. However, fate, like a sneaky pirate, was about to intervene in a way no one on board could have predicted. At 11:40 that fateful night, lookout Frederick Fleet spotted an iceberg directly in their path, like a sleeping giant emerging from the darkness. The alarm was sounded, and orders were given to turn the ship in a desperate attempt to avoid the inevitable. With a deafening roar, the Titanic grazed the iceberg along its starboard side, a fatal blow that shook the heart of the giant. The impact ripped a series of holes along the ship's hull, opening mortal wounds in the steel giant. The icy water of the Atlantic began to gush into the forward compartments of the ship. As reality set in, a controlled chaos began to grip the Titanic like a cold and relentless wind. Passengers were met with confusion and uncertainty, fear spreading like wildfire. The crew, initially confident, now struggled to comprehend the disaster like sailors in a storm. Amidst the panic, acts of bravery shone through like stars in a dark night. The crew worked tirelessly to launch the lifeboats, unsung heroes facing death. Radio operators sent out distress signals, pleading for help in the vast ocean. The sound of the band, playing cheerful melodies, hung over the growing noise, a surreal soundtrack to the unfolding drama. One of the most glaring failures was the severe shortage of lifeboats on board. Designed to carry over 3,300 people, the ship only carried enough lifeboats for a little over half that number, a fatal error that would seal the fate of many. As the gravity of the situation became clear, a sense of panic began to grip the passengers, fear spreading like a deadly virus. The lack of adequate lifeboats sealed the fate of many, condemning them to a tragic end in the icy waters of the Atlantic. As the hours passed, the bow of the ship began to submerge, lifting the stern into the air, like a horse rearing up on its hind legs. With a horrible roar that echoed across the sea, the Titanic broke in two, the steel giant surrendering to the relentless force of the ocean. The stern, still momentarily afloat, stabilized for a brief moment before sliding back into the depths, like a ghost disappearing into the mist. Passengers and crew were thrown into the icy waters, their screams swallowed by the night. The sight of the Titanic breaking in two would remain etched in their minds forever, an indelible scar on their souls. As the Titanic sent out its final distress calls, like a desperate whale in the air, the Carpathia, a steamship from the Cunard Line, picked up the signals and rushed to help, like a guardian angel answering a prayer. Arriving at the scene hours later, the Carpathia found only a sea littered with debris, a graveyard of dreams and hopes. The Carpathia's crew worked tirelessly to pull survivors from the icy sea, rescuing lost souls amidst the tragedy. Each survivor brought stories of heroism, sacrifice, and unimaginable loss, poignant accounts of the horror they had witnessed. The final count of survivors revealed the terrible scale of the disaster, a number that shocked the world and etched the name Titanic into collective memory forever. The sinking of the Titanic sent shockwaves around the world, like an earthquake that shook confidence in technology and human invincibility. The tragedy served as a cautionary tale, exposing the disastrous consequences of human complacency and arrogance in the face of nature. From the ship's reckless speed to the lack of adequate lifeboats, it became evident that safety measures were inadequate, a high price to pay for arrogance and the unbridled pursuit of progress. The Titanic's legacy lived on in the sweeping changes it sparked in maritime regulations, a beacon illuminating the path to a safer future at sea. In the wake of the Titanic's sinking, calls for comprehensive reform of maritime regulations echoed around the world, like a chorus of voices demanding justice and safety. Nations came together to address the glaring deficiencies exposed by the tragedy, leading to the creation of the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, known as SOLAS, a pact to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again. SOLAS established strict standards for the construction, operation, and safety of ships, an enduring legacy of the Titanic. One of the most significant impacts was the requirement that ships carry enough lifeboats for everyone on board, a simple measure, but one that could have changed the course of history. These changes aim to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again, honoring the memory of the victims with actions that aim to protect lives at sea. Over a century after the sinking of the RMS Titanic, the ship's story continues to captivate and resonate with people around the world, a timeless tale that transcends generations. The sinking of the Titanic remains a subject of intense fascination, generating countless books, films, and documentaries, a constant reminder of human fragility and the power of nature. The ship's final resting place has become a pilgrimage site for divers and explorers, an underwater tomb that holds secrets and untold stories. The story of the Titanic serves as an enduring reminder of the importance of humility, vigilance, and respect for the untamable force of the sea, a lesson we must never forget. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment, and share. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.